Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim for the Real Sports Talk. You can hit me up on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. And today, the Chicago Bulls went in. The Derrick Rose-less Chicago Bulls going to Oklahoma City and absolutely just got crushed by the Bulls, or by the Thunder today. They dropped to 42-12, which isn't too bad. 21-7 away, and then the Thunder improved to 40-12, 23-4 home. And I think that is the biggest home court advantage that you have in the NBA. Let's go down through some of the stats. Now, later on in this video, what I want to get to is Kevin Durant's MVP candidacy and why I think it is rapidly improving, but there's still some work to do. For the Bulls, really without Derrick Rose, Carlos Boozer shot already, shot 4 of 8, but they need him to take on a bigger role offensively. He did have 10 rebounds, and 9 of those came on the defensive side of the ball, though, and he needs to offensively take charge of this team. I know that he's not living up to that contract, but he is the second highest paid player on that team, and he needs to at least try to play like that. Luol Deng shoots 4 of 13 today with only 8 points. Really a tough game for him. Then Taj Gibson off the bench had 10 points, and John Lucas shoots 7 of 20. I mean, John Lucas is a really solid backup point guard, but when he has to go out there and play a majority of the minutes as your starting point guard, I mean, especially since C.J. Watson brought about nothing today, you're not going to have great success. John Lucas will have his days where he shoots really well, but today he shot all right. 7 of 20 isn't necessarily awful, but it's not good at all, or it's not really good either. So, I mean, they need Derrick Rose back. I think it's as simple as that. Derrick Rose, to all the people that act like Derrick Rose isn't a great player, which he is. I mean, I was critical of him last year because I said he didn't deserve the MVP, but he's clearly one of the top 10 players in the game, probably top 7. And the injuries, yeah, the Bulls might even be able to go to the Eastern Conference Finals without him, although I think that it'll be tough because to beat a team like the Pacers, who last year with Derrick Rose, even though Rose didn't have a great series, they took Rose and the Bulls to 7 games. Without Derrick Rose, I think that the Pacers who have improved, could beat the Bulls. And so I think that you need Derrick Rose back at 100%. Derrick Rose said pregame that to Rick Bucher, who, by the way, I cannot watch one more thing of Rick Bucher. Like, whenever he asks the guys questions, he's like stuttering and all nervous. You've been on TV poorly, I might add, for about 5 years now, and you still can't just go up to Derrick Rose and ask him a question. I mean, it's pretty bad. ESPN, and ABC, you gotta work that one out, and then you gotta work out the problem also of your terrible halftime show with Magic Johnson, Wilbon, and Chris Broussard. It is really close to unwatchable. But I think that the point is, Derrick Rose said he wants to be back sometime this week. They need him back at 100% if they're really gonna make a run. I think that most people believe, and I believe this, that they would probably get to the Eastern Conference Finals even if Derrick Rose isn't at 100%. But if Derrick Rose is not at 100%, they're not going to beat the Miami Heat unless LeBron plays awful and Wade plays awful. And it's not that that's impossible, but I mean, people act like LeBron had a terrible playoffs the entire year last year. He had an incredible series against the Bulls last year, and Wade wasn't even healthy, and they still beat them. And Bosh had 2 nice games, and then the rest of the series really was not nice. So if they can get all 3 of those guys going, and with some of the depth they've added with guys like Norris Cole and having Miller for a full season, I think that there's no way the Bulls are going to beat them if Derrick Rose is not playing at 100%. And right now, with not too much time left in the season, there's reason to think that maybe Derrick Rose won't be at 100% for this entire season, really, with back problems, with ankle problems. They need him at 100%. That's the bottom line. For the Thunder, 2 MVP candidates on their team. Kevin Durant today shoots over 50% at 11 of 16 shooting and 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists, even had a steal and a block. And then Russell Westbrook today had another incredible game. People are just... I was critical of him. I was not a big fan of him coming into the season because I just didn't think him and Kevin Durant were going to work well enough, and Russell Westbrook could kind of swallow his pride enough to make it so that Kevin Durant was the #1 guy on that team. What has happened is Russell Westbrook's had, stat-wise, a similar season to what he's always done, but his shooting has gone up at like 3 or 4 percentage points, and that has made all the difference for him this season. He's become a better overall player, and I think besides Chris Paul, he's probably having the best season for a point guard this year. And you can make a case for Darren Williams there too. Derrick Rose has just missed too much time, and Rajon Rondo's been inconsistent. I think that Russell Westbrook is a top 5 MVP candidate this year as well, and I'll get to Kevin Durant's MVP candidacy as well. I think that they need Kendrick Perkins to be a little bit more active offensively. Serge Ibaka, one of the most underrated players in the game. Defensively, besides Dwight Howard and LeBron James, I think that he's been the best defender in the NBA this season with 5 blocks again today. He is probably the best blocker overall in the NBA. And then the rest of the team, James Harden has 11 points. He's been a lock to win 6th Man of the Year pretty much the entire season. And Nick Collison even had 7 points as well. And the best part of this game is we got a sighting of the White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine on the Chicago Bulls, everyone's favorite player in the NBA. But it's Kevin Durant versus LeBron James for the MVP. Offensively, they look very similar. LeBron's something like 27, 7, and 5, I think. That's points, rebounds, assists, and he's shooting 53%. He's really struggled over the last 2 weeks. He's still putting up, 20 points or so, 18 points, but it hasn't been enough. And Durant, when they played the other day, had a better game overall than him, even though LeBron didn't have a terrible game. And Durant has something like 28 points. Rebounding-wise, he has 8 rebounds a game, which is a little bit more than LeBron, which shouldn't be that way because LeBron's a lot bigger. And he also has 4 assists a game. So LeBron is leading, and he's shooting like 50%. LeBron's shooting better, and he has more assists a game, which you would think Kevin Durant would have more assists a game. And Kevin Durant is scoring a little bit more and also was getting more rebounds, which you would think LeBron would be getting more rebounds. That is not how it has gone so far this year. The thing to me that is separating this is that LeBron has just been, overall, he's a better defender. I think that that's kind of the thing that separates it for me. I'm not going to complain because in any other year, if you throw either of these seasons into last year, well, Kevin Durant for sure would have won MVP. I don't know about LeBron just because of all the backlash. And I think that that's LeBron's problem. If he has a season, if anyone's close to him, he's not going to win the MVP. So even in this year, when he's having an historic season, if he doesn't come back this next week or two and have a really good last couple weeks, his numbers are going to drop a little bit, and people are going to look for an excuse not to vote for him. So he almost has to blow people away to win the MVP. Now, the one thing that I don't want to hear is, oh, LeBron can't win the MVP because he has Wade. Because I never bought in that argument, and I'm not going to use it against Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant in the next 2 weeks ends up having better overall season than LeBron James, then I'm not going to say, oh, well, he has Russell Westbrook on his team. But Russell Westbrook this year is actually having a better season than Dwayne Wade. So to use that argument against LeBron James, if anyone smart is going against you in a debate like that, you're going to get owned because Russell Westbrook's having a better season, a career season, and that amazing dunk today. He's having a better season than Dwayne Wade this year, and I think it's as simple as that. LeBron might have a better overall team, but in the end, I think it comes down to who's having the better overall season because they both are on really good teams, probably the best team overall. I mean, you can make a case that the Bulls are better than the Heat, but I don't buy it because of what happened in the playoffs last year and because you don't know what you're getting with Derrick Rose. You're both on the best teams in each conference, so I think in the end it comes down to who's having the better overall season. Thunder defeat the Chicago Bulls today. I'm Tim for the Real Sports Talk. Hit me up on Twitter @CashKelly_TRST, and I will catch you guys later.